the architect of the Justice for Janitors campaign.
In any given fight that you pick, you have to convince people that you're going to fight as hard as you can to achieve your aim. And if you're going to accept less and accept the loss, don't call it a win. Say that this is something which we fought hard to stop but couldn't stop. And in every situation, build the number of people who are part of your side, who want to dedicate their life to building the size and fighting capacity of our own forces. And that really was what 2012 was about. It was about going into a fight about the kinds of schools that we want, not lowering expectations, but raising expectations. So they would say, oh, your schools are failure factories. Well, you know what? It will be easier to pin me on defending bad schools if I hadn't spent the last decade fighting to make them better. Every cut that you tried to make, we fought. We couldn't stop you from making all those cuts. You imposed some of them. But you were the one trying to make the schools worse, and we were the one trying to make the schools better. So now how dare you come and accuse us of defending bad schools? It's the opposite. And so by trying to raise expectations about what schools could be, we want to fight for the schools that Chicago students deserve, and we want to do that with our organic allies, and we're going to name who's actually fighting against it. We are out to build a large, broad coalition in that strike. But we're going to picket in the morning at school work sites. We're going to go and hold rallies at universities in the middle of the day, and then we're going to converge in a giant rally to shut down Chicago's downtown. And it will be multi-sector, and it will unite workers in the CTU and also everyone who's affected by the public sector crisis to fight for the social services and funding for education that we deserve, and to fight for racial justice, because there's money for the school-to-prison pipeline. But there's not money to keep kids out of that pipeline in the first place. And so, those are the kind of demands that we're making. There's nothing that we've done in the CTU that can't be done in other places. It might be the case that your union isn't, where it's going to call a one-day strike in a big city and bring out a bunch of other sectors and shut down the city. It might be that you're fighting against a work rule change in your workplace that you don't like, or policy, or something very small or local. That's okay, but it has to be a fight. We have to stop expecting that, our ability to do moral suasion works. It doesn't. Our enemies have a higher number of people and a larger fighting capacity than we do right now, but only for a time. And together we'll win. Thank you.